Hi everyone, I'm Paul Kankowitz, and this is the weekly update for my 2D PvP game with grappling hooks. Hey everyone, I hope you all had a relaxing Thanksgiving. I took a little bit of a break myself, but still managed to make a lot of progress on the game, so let's dig in. Since I was feeling pretty good about the base movement and stability of the game, I thought now would be a good time to take a look at some of the temp gameplay I added and get that solidified a bit. Hopping on players was good for a prototype, but I want the core game loop to be more about moving around the level, collecting things like coins and power-ups, and fighting each other over them. I also didn't like the idea of a player dying early and being out for the round. To address these problems, I started by adding a sarcophagus for each player. When players are defeated, they'll respawn at their sarcophagi after a set amount of time. This also has the added bonus of the players' corpses becoming props as they die. I also needed something for players to fight over. After watching a few playtests in the past, players didn't really have a reason to do anything other than try to jump on each other, so they wouldn't move around the level. To fix that, I added coins that randomly spawn throughout the level. I wanted to dig into the spawning system a bit to explain how I set it up. First, I added 4 room extent objects. The exact position of these doesn't really matter. I just use them to programmatically grab the min and max x and y values of the level. I then generate a random x and y value between those points and check some things. First of all, I make sure that the coin collides with a markup object I placed. This is basically a scaled rectangle whose only purpose is to make sure that the coin gets spawned in a decent location. I then check to make sure the coin doesn't collide with a wall or any other collectibles. I also put in a counter to check the number of times it attempts to spawn a coin. If that hits some max value, I abort trying to spawn the coin so the game doesn't freeze trying to find a good position for a coin to spawn. Once I find a good position, I spawn a coin spawner, which spawns a coin after a few seconds. I added that to give players a chance to move toward the coin before it spawns. I also added off-screen indicators for both coin spawners and coins so that players can easily see where they are around the level. In addition to all that, there's an algorithm running to determine how long to wait between coin spawns. In all honesty, I probably over-engineered this system, but the quick version is that it adjusts the spawn time based on the general size of the room, the number of players playing, the number of coins currently spawned, a spawn state that changes over time, and a random value that changes every time a coin is spawned. If nothing else, this gives me a good number of knobs to turn to tune the system in the future. I think the coins will be great to give players something to fight over. I also plan to add relics as power-ups in the future, which should really motivate players to move around. Additionally, I plan to make players spit out some of their coins when they die, Sonic style. Lastly, I added a quick debug menu, so I wouldn't have to remember all the different combinations of debug commands. That was definitely getting a bit out of hand. Sorry though, no big head mode. That's all I've got for now, but I'll have more exciting things for you next week. See you then!